Ronaldo's explosive jumping ability is going to be tested.
Here we are. Okay, Ronaldo, this is the high jump. Now explain to us how this works.
What we're going to get you to do is a test of lower body power. The higher you jump, the more powerful your legs are going to be. So we're going to place you on the mat. We're going to instruct you to jump as high as possible, give it your maximal effort, and try and land back on the mat again.
This mat is actually a very sensitive pressure sensor that measures takeoff force.
And the key thing is having his hands on his hips, correct?
We're going to try not to use the arms as an extra counterbalance.
So that's why we do this, so that he can't use his arms as elevation.
So
It's
we're
just
trying
about
to
the legs.
Concentrate just on explosive leg power. Okay. 3, 2, 1.
The result is surprising. Ronaldo jumps only 44 centimeters, barely average, with a force of just 1.5 times his body weight. Something's wrong.
So now, this is the thing, you don't jump like that in the game.
Yeah.
We have to make it relevant to football.
Of course, if you jump with free hands,
Yeah.
it's better. You jump more, then you're quite limited.
So can you also register that? If I get Ronaldo to jump, if he comes in and jumps up off one foot and lands...
We'll get the impact of the pressure as he hits the pressure plate.
Let's try that. Let's try that.
3, 2, 1, go.
Now the results are very different. Ronaldo's body strength enables him to jump 78 centimeters, which is higher than the average NBA basketball player can jump. His takeoff force is almost 5 times his body weight, or 5 Gs, the same as an astronaut goes through at takeoff. But what's more intriguing is what he does in the air.
When he jumps high, he tucks his knees and his legs up behind under his buttocks. This has the effect of raising the centre of gravity temporarily, but enables him to give this impression of hanging in the air, ready for him heading the ball into the goal. Excellent.
Good, good, good. Awesome, Ronaldo. Let's move on to our next test.
Ronaldo's free kicks are as famous as they are effective. Fast, accurate, and unpredictable, his success rate is 3 times the average. No one else in the world has mastered his technique. So the question is, how does he do it?
It's a Portugal-Brazilese free kick, because yes, this ball goes up and down, and that makes it extraordinarily difficult for the goalkeepers.
It's really dangerous when you shoot the free kicks. Cristiano Ronaldo's style is like a punch on the ball.
Ronaldo has probably got one of the most efficient power application models of kicking that there is in terms of the amount of effort that he puts in and the return he gets on the ball speed.
To find out how he does this, the scientists are going to analyze his free kick in minute detail.
What we're going to do now is put reflective markers all over your body so the cameras can pick up all your movement, and we can see in 3D, we can see all your movement, how you move, how your technique is when you strike a ball. Okay? So let's apply the markers on him now.
Okay, we're going to go for a full body marker set here. Essentially what we're looking for is we've got 10 infrared cameras that are going to sample 300 times a second. And hopefully what we get then is a 3-dimensional reconstruction of exactly what happens during your kick.
This process is called 3D motion capture. It's what video game animators use, but this is the first time it's been used to analyze Ronaldo's free kick.
The most important bits, of course, are going to be on the leg, so we can then identify just how fast his leg is travelling. So we put these clusters on this part here. Stick this down.
So that's for the joint. Yeah. How often will you do free kick practices in terms of practicing your technique?
Depends, 1 time per week.
Once a week? You just do it after training, just repeat it?
Yeah. 25 balls, 30.
20, 35 balls?
Yeah.
Do you generally do it with a goalkeeper in there?
Yeah, with goalkeepers,
Yeah.
Yeah.
There we go. Beautiful.
Okay. So now we're going to do your free kicks, but I'm not going in goal. We've got your former teammate, Jersey Durdek.
Hello.
How we doing?
Hi, Chris. I'm good. Nice to meet you.
Good man.
Well, let's go.
Let's get set.
Andy has set up the lab with the goal 20 metres away. To begin, Ronaldo will take a free kick, employing the technique he uses to bend the ball over a defensive wall.
Okay, Ronaldo, and play.
It may be over in the blink of an eye, or 900 milliseconds to be precise. But what happens during this time is fascinating. To get the ball to curve, Ronaldo must strike it in exactly the right place.
This is something that is achieved by hitting the ball off the centre of mass. So we're hitting it almost to the side of the ball and using the inside of our foot to wrap around that ball and generate spin. Once we've generated the spin, this creates a difference in pressure between the inside of the ball and the outside of the ball, and will tend to push the ball towards the direction of low pressure. Hopefully then this curves over the top of the wall and the keeper won't see the ball until the last minute.
The precision is extraordinary. He sends the ball spinning round a perfectly vertical axis, veering off its normal straight trajectory by more than 3 meters. But perhaps what Ronaldo's most famous for is his devastating power kick, or knuckleball.
If we then take a look at the way Cristiano hits his knuckleball, this is a free kick where very little spin is imparted to the ball.
Play.
What we then get is a contact more towards the ankle joint centre. This, of course, is going to generate less spin to the ball.
Striking the ball right in the middle and giving it virtually no spin sends it off in a dead straight trajectory. But at the last second, the ball unexpectedly deviates off course.
It's really dangerous for the keepers because it's impossible to understand the trajectory of the ball.
He hits it with the laces, and the ball floats as well. So it has a double effect. It comes down very late, but during the whole move of the kick, it moves sideways.
If the ball spinning, it's easier. Difficult to catch, but easier to understand the trajectory.
It's all down to aerodynamics, and the secret of Ronaldo's knuckleball is in the seams. When the ball's spinning fast, the seams have no effect. But when the ball isn't spinning, the seams can catch in the wind on one side and not the other. It's just enough to make the ball deviate.
The slight movement of the ball in the air can generate the movement of the seams to generate a turbulence that varies from one side to the other side of the ball, makes it almost impossible for the keeper to react into which way it's going to move first.
How does it feel being a goalkeeper when he strikes the ball straight on?
This strike is very hard to read, obviously. The ball flies like a balloon, you know, it goes left, right, up and down. Because the ball moves around, they can't, you know, really save bad or the finger, you understand? It's difficult because the ball moves a lot. I think sometimes it makes goalkeepers scared when, you know, when you see Cristiano coming.
Brilliant. Well done, Josie.
So this is what Dudek would have seen in goal. This is perhaps the cues that he might get to pick up on.
The amount of weight and pressure on the standing foot before he strikes with his right foot, that's got to be huge.
It's fairly large. We're talking around about 30 stone going through his foot there.
So how comes the bones don't break?
As you saw before as well, very, very strong musculature. He flexes that leg slightly on impact. As we then come towards this point here, all the energy that we've stored in this segment around the pelvis and around the thigh then gets translated through the knee. That power flows through the knee to whip through to the ball. Very much if you imagine like a cowboy with a whip. He moves his arm and then stops it. The end of the whip goes so fast. Ronaldo moves his thigh very fast, then stops it, and the end of the foot comes through so quick.
Looking at the kick from the front, it's clear that Ronaldo's posture is also a factor.
I have a phrase that I call the pillar, which is basically the crutch to the top of your head. If that pillar is straight, and it is with Ronaldo, particularly on his spot kicking, and his legs are an extension of that line. Even though you might tilt it on its side, okay, there is still that flexion type of movement. Coupled that with the fact that his body moves through the ball, you've got a pretty potent power model there.